Here's my health and survival plan for you. I'm on a mission to change your life, to make matters easier, to concise all this healthy information that you receive in so many different directions by so many people. I'm here to streamline that process and make it simple. And in doing so, there's moments like now where I am moved beyond my core by circumstances that are often after my control. In the emergency department, I save lives on a daily basis. I bring back people from death. Not everyone, but I do my best to make sure as close as everyone as possible. The emergency department is a bridge. It's a bridge to many different disciplines, to the lung doctor, the heart doctor, the cardiologist, to your OBGYN doctor. So when you leave my department, it is imperative, it is life-saving that you follow up with your doctor or a specific doctor that I recommend you to. Recently, I took care of Mrs. Williams. And Mrs. Williams was 61 years old. She was nearing the age of retirement. She was a school teacher who loved the sun. I was working at a hospital close to the shore. So Mrs. Williams came in one day to my emergency department. She was having a cough. And I did an x-ray of her chest, and there was no pneumonia, thank goodness. There was no mass that was present, no lung cancer. She had a simple case of what looks like a viral infection. So I reassured her, but in the process of reassuring her, she also made mention of a mole that was growing on her back. Now again, Mrs. Williams loved being in the sun. I took a really close look at this mole, and it was very irregular shape, irregular borders. You don't get new moles that grow on your body after a certain age, and as the mole appears, most of them are uniform in color. It's like black or brown, and that's it. But hers was a little rubbery, it was raised, and it was a different colors of black, brown, a little bit of a dark yellow tinge to it. So I said to Mrs. Williams, listen, you have to follow up with your doctor. You have to follow up with your dermatologist. And I gave her the number of the dermatologist. So I bid her farewell, and that's the last I heard of Mrs. Williams. And I had the confidence that I reassured her enough for a viral infection with her lungs, but that she also needed to follow up with her doctor. And this is why you must follow up with your doctor. So Mrs. Williams failed to make an appointment. As we all, as you are, as I am, you're too busy. Don't have time, kids, job, vacations, friends, get-togethers, movies, grocery shopping, you name it, too busy. So Mrs. Williams failed to follow up, and I happened to see Mrs. Williams roughly a year or two later, about 18 months later. And Mrs. Williams presented to me, she was a robust 61-year-old when I met her, and she was a frail 63-year-old when I saw her again. That mole on her back was cancer. And that cancer grew and invaded her lungs and her tissue, and by the time she finally went to the dermatologist, it was too late. She was diagnosed with terminal skin cancer. So this is why I am taking a stance, I'm taking a position right now. You must follow up with your doctor, not because it's a convenient situation for me, or I'm pushing you along to see another healthcare professional, or I'm trying to make your life busier than what it is. It's important because if Mrs. Williams had went to her doctor, her dermatologist for follow-up, she would have had the biopsy a long time ago, and she would have caught the cancer maybe in a precancerous stage, where all would have needed to be done was just the scraping and removal of that skin. So keep in mind, when you leave the emergency department, it's important to follow up. And if you don't want to follow up with a specialist or do the due diligence to go through it, you eventually will show up there. And let's pray and hope that it's not too late. Here's a life that could have been saved. And I'm mad. I'm saddened for her family. And this is why I'm taking this position now, to let you know the importance of once you leave that emergency department, you have to pull out your notepad or pull out your schedule or grab your phone, your iPhone, and put it on your calendar. You must follow up. If not for you, you have to do it for those who love you, because I want you around, your family wants you around as long as possible. So make sure you go through the necessary steps to ensure that you're here with us for as long as possible.